We are going live and it is dark. It's rainy and cloudy here, so I'm playing with some new lighting. I'm loving my box lighting more than my ring light right now, so bear with me. And I'm jumping on live. I'm also recording this as a podcast because I feel like there's so much I want to share, and I'm going to do my best to stick to my bulleted random notes that just fell out of me this morning. And I'm really diving into the mission critical pieces of decision mastery, of fulfillment in business and life, of success. And what does that actually mean? Like, if I can say anything today, my Black Friday options are not your typical Black Friday options. And my intention is not the typical intention. And the design behind them was with you in mind, with every single soul that I know is desiring more and not sure how, is desiring more fulfillment in business and life, more love, more connection, more freedom, more adventure, more peace. Can we just have some peace and safety and where we are, what we do? And there hasn't ever been a more grounded definition of success for me lately than this one quote I came upon today from Maya Angelou. And I know I've heard this quote before, but man, did it land and rock my world today. But success is liking yourself, liking what you do and how you do it. So success is liking yourself, liking what you do and how you do it. Maya Angelou. And honestly, I want to take another step further and say success is loving yourself, loving what you do, and loving how you do it. This is exactly why I'm jumping on live today. This is exactly why I'm doing this as a podcast today. And this is exactly why I almost just threw out the baby with the bathwater, not my business per se, but yes, my business many times. But today specifically, I was like, I don't think I want to go live to the public with my Black Friday options that I felt so certain about just 2 weeks ago when I decided to even do this, right? I was going to make it just an internal thing. And then I was like, why just an internal thing? I feel like there's so many more people who are called for their breakthrough and to understand decision mastery and have that clarity and that confidence that I'm forever practicing and expanding myself and allowing others to do the same with simple frameworks and tools. So here's what my Black Friday is not in my world. I've always been put off by Black Fridays in the coaching space. I love Black Fridays when it comes to merchandise. Trust me, I used to be one of those crazy fools that would wake up at 3 a.m. and drive across town to get the whatever deal of the day, because it's just fun to find the treasures and the deals, right? But in the coaching space, due to what I've experienced, and again, this is just from my experience, I decided that I didn't want to participate in the noise. I was poo-pooing the noise because there was a lot of noise and very little impact in a Black Friday. And I said, okay, well, that's how I see it, or how I've seen it to be true, even though it's not true. It was a perception I believed to be true. How can I be the change? How can I be the change of it not being a noisy Black Friday? How can I be participatory in it being an impactful Black Friday? Because what Black Friday is not in my world, it is not a high ticket, high pressure on me to enroll more people into what I know and I'm certain is the program of all programs, to rising up, to radically, intentionally self-expanding oneself into the unlimited potential and possibility of what is. I know for certain that my 75 plus videos that have all been revamped here in 2023 do result in massive breakthroughs, massive leveling up. What I also know that my Black Friday is, it's not a pressure on you or any client to be forced to make a yes or no, ever, not just Black Friday, but ever. Permission to say yes, period, and not regret that. Permission to say no, period, and not regret that, and not have to justify or explain. I've been in positions where I felt the pressure. I've been put in positions as a high ticket sales specialist and expert for over 20 plus years to be told I had to put people in that position, put the pressure on, create urgency, create FOMO. No, not in my world. I believe in solution sales. I believe in solution offers. I believe in solution enrollments. I believe this is a soul-to-soul contract. We are these spiritual beings having this human experience. And who am I to put the pressure on myself, let alone put the pressure on you? What else is Black Friday? It is not a hurry up and get more people opportunity. That almost makes me want to vomit in my mouth, honestly. Just even saying that makes my stomach, bleh. If I see another post story ad that says, here's how to get more. Well, have you gone to go give more? It's about giving first. Give what you wish to receive. Give what you wish to receive. Let that land. Like really sit in that. How does it feel? What do you wish to receive more of? Go give that. Go give that. That's what's critical here. Now, again, it's a I get to. When I said, okay, if I get to do Black Friday the way I get to design Black Friday and how I want to experience for myself and how I desire others to experience for them, how can I align to this and show up? How can I feel aligned and serve generously? Not just once a year, by the way, but how can I continue to show up and create that momentum now in November 2023, carry it into 2024, and how I feel aligned to just forever generously giving and serving from a full cup, by the way, not an empty cup, from a full cup, and gifting my clients the abundant pricing opportunities. Especially for those who I've been speaking with most of the year or just last week or today even, and there's money blocks in the way, or maybe they weren't clear on their burning desire and they're like, I don't want to invest in something if I don't even know what I want to make or master my decisions around. Well, that's a good place to start, right? The clarity and having the courage to go there to create the clarity and then to take the aligned action. And then when you do that, consistency, confidence evolves, and you still have the butterflies in your tummy and you're still a little shaky when you are doing the thing, but it feels so good because you're in alignment. It's coming from the will to, it's coming from intention. So I have a dear friend, Margaret, who was doing a shout out for me yesterday, and she's been on an activate and create call. So we've activated her vision. We've created the space of understanding what it's like to live from a vision. We've understood this gap between where she is now and where she wants to be. And we've been in the DM sharing life updates, celebrating the wins, celebrating the challenges since activating her ability to live from her vision and knowing what it's like to live from a vision and not just creating a vision and hoping, wishing, praying it will happen one day. And she's understanding the law of attraction deals with the law of vibration at a whole nother level. Like these are the laws that are in the Rise Up container, by the way. And when she found out I was releasing my Black Friday options to the insiders, the people on my email list, the people who've been constantly in the DMs showing up, right? Taking a stand in some way, aligning and taking that action and sharing that with me, it was a no-brainer for her. She jumped in before I even put it out in an email. She jumped in just as I was sharing, getting ready to share on my social platforms, because I came from a place of, again, the solution sales process, the solution enrollment process. And I designed this many, many years ago. And even as I consulted as a high ticket sales coach, this process of empowering clients to think logically, because we have wisdom, we have experience, we have knowledge, right? but to even more so feel intuitively when you're sharpening your decision mastery skills. It's a thinking logically, feeling intuitively, thinking logically, feeling intuitively. It's a head heart coherence. And when you start to practice this on a regular basis, you're making decisions that you're excited about. You might be a little nervous. You might even have some fear chatter in your limited mind space because you've never done whatever the thing is before. But you're also regulating your nervous system, because when you're confident in your decisions, you're not making a knee-jerk reaction. You're being responsible with how you respond, and you show up and you decide and you commit and you honor your word and you do your best and you make no assumptions and you take nothing personally, which are all the 4 foundations of the 4 agreements that I live by, right? That I have embodied and that I continue to practice. And am I perfect at it? Heck no, but I choose progress over perfection. The key is, again, saying yes, period, and not regretting it. Saying no, period, and not regretting it, all while staying confident and certain that what you are offering will deliver. And that's the part in the coaching space that I've seen a lot of people show up with great marketing, but yet not so good on the delivery side, right? Because I know in my heart of hearts that every strategy works when you work it consistently. And I know that a lot of people come to me and they're like, I've done this, I've done that. And at the end of the day, I still am getting X, Y, and Z, or I never got a return on investment. I hired 5 different coaches. And there's so many stories that can paralyze people or put a bad taste in their mouth. But at the end of the day, it works when you work it consistently and when you make it your own, when you feel aligned to it. And that's why I didn't throw in the towel. I could have easily not offered a Black Friday. I could have said, I don't want to participate. And that would have been fine too. But I'm on a bigger mission. I'm on a bigger mission to say, I can do this my way. I will forever be that square peg. And at times being shoved into that round hole. It doesn't fit. Now you can put a circular peg into a square hole, but that's not me. And this is part of my superpowers. When I'm working with my clients, it's like, you always think outside the box. You always have these other options because I know everything's figure outable. I think Marie Forleo wrote a great book on that. Like if you can read the book and apply everything is figure outable and the universe has your back, paired with the 4 agreements, and you already have the confidence to just bulldoze through life, knowing you're cleaning up your mistakes and your messes along the way because you're honoring your word, you really can tap into that limitlessness. You really can. And you can start to master your decision-making process right then and there. Or you can jump into the Rise Up container and have access to all of those frameworks and tools literally at your fingertips, anywhere, anytime. And so I decided, okay, I'm going to do a Black Friday, but I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to stay relaxed and calm, knowing individuals in this process are in control of what they think and how they respond. Just like the only thing I'm in control of is what I think and how I respond and how I show up. And with that, we get to create grace and space to have some fun with this. And we can ask better questions because we know at the end of the day, the quality of our life is directly related to the quality of our questions. We also know at the end of the day, what we aren't changing, we are choosing. So I'm participating in this Black Friday because I used to love Black Fridays. And I'm falling back in love with Black Friday because I get to. And I get to fall back in love with Black Friday as a business owner. And I also get to pave the way of what Black Friday can be for others in the coaching space. It doesn't have to be this cookie cutter thing because it worked for somebody else. And I can tell you, if you're not aligned to that, it won't work for you. If you're not willing to upgrade your operating system and your belief system, you're going to struggle. I know because I've been there and I've done that. And I'm like, I got to up level again. I got to do this again. Yes, this isn't a once and done, check the box. This is why anybody who's gone through my Rise Up program, you get lifetime access because it's forever evolving. You're forever evolving. And we're going to go back and you're going to be like, I got to do that thing again. Or yes, I get to do this again. Good. It's going to get simpler and easier every single time. It's like lifting a weight. You lift the heavy weight, your muscle's going to grow. You keep lifting the same weight as your muscle's growing, eventually you're not going to grow that muscle anymore, right? So you got to increase the weight. This is called expansion. Create more space for the muscle and for you to grow, not just physically. I'm talking mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in alignment to your purpose. And that's our purpose, right? Is to live out our purpose. So I'm participating in this Black Friday because I get to offer abundant, no-brainer options. I also get to show up and serve now and well into 2024. I also get to create the comfort and certainty for 7 lucky souls to be in their back pocket. I get to be in your back pocket if you so decide to, for 6 months or 12 months over the next year, while you're breaking through and you're experiencing some of the most uncomfortable transformations and decisions in both your business and life. I get to create the comfort and certainty for you because I'll be in your back pocket while you're going through some of the most uncomfortable, biggest breakthroughs again in your business and life. How cool is that? And I get to offer an option that anyone who owns a business can afford, and an opportunity to have access to the frameworks I know work with 1,000% certainty, because I haven't just created this overnight. This has been a process for over the past 15 plus years. Been in the self-development phase, good golly gee, since before 2005. And this is when I came from the corporate health and wellness space. When I came from training people through the corporate athlete program, creating high performers to be better high performers. But womp womp, the truth is, without the tools to prevent burnout. Well, I have the tools to prevent burnout because it's not about human performance, but yet it is. It's more about human potential and possibility and understanding how much of that is anchored into our habits and behaviors of the subconscious mind, and the thought patterns and the belief patterns, and how to actually anchor and rewire those. And I also get to offer an option that could easily be a business write-off for 2023 and or 2024 if you decide to go on a payment plan, or if you decide to unlock some bonuses and do the pay in full option. It's all, what would you love? Not what do I have to do? What I got to do to throw in a Hail Mary before the end of the year? And that's not the energy I'm talking about. Because how we do anything is how we do everything. You go in with that type of energy, it's going to be your experience on the other side. I am certain of it because I used to be that person and that same energy. Now, by will alone, not willpower. Willpower, from my experience, tends to be the struggling component when going through a transformation. And this is one that requires the release of old patterns and habits in exchange of anchoring in the new disciplines, right? The new patterns, the new beliefs, the new thoughts. So again, by will alone, paired with that burning desire, will being the driving force, the forward momentum that it's like you wake up and you just know. It's that inner knowing. It's connected to your highest self. It's also connected to the infinite, to God, who breathes us every day, right? It's bigger than just the faith. It's bigger than just the trust. It's real faith. It's real trust coming from that will. I can reset. I know through my will, not willpower, that I can reset or set my mind, my thoughts, my experiences, my respondability, and that I get to experience, all due to the practice of continuing to master and embody decision mastery frameworks with being unwavering, being intentional, backed by, again, will. So this is all back to just will and understanding will and being confident that will persevere, not willpower. You can be 2 minutes up, feet hit the ground, and your willpower be gone. or you can buzz through your day and hustle and grind and do all the things for the good life. And by dinner time, willpower is gone, right? And I can say that when I show up as my highest self with intention, when I am creating the space of more potential, more possibility, every single time it gets to be fun. It gets to be kind of flowy and ease. There's this flowy and ease to it that just, thank goodness again for the frameworks and the Rise Up materials that I've created that I actually use myself, are available and I actually use them. I'm not just a coach that creates something. It's like, oh, I've outgrown that. These are tools and frameworks I promise you, you will never outgrow, right? And that's a beautiful thing when you have lifetime access. So what does this all mean? What this all means is when you are living from intention and you're living from the clarity and the courage and the confidence of understanding your burning desire, that you get to create this yes and life by design, and you get to experience what yes and life by design means, which really is not settling for any circumstance or situation, or no longer giving your power away to other people or certain circumstances or situations. It's also the confidence in your decision making. It's also never regretting the yes, never regretting the no, never justifying or explaining why you made the decision, never committing to something, or sorry, let me rephrase that. Never deciding yes and then never committing. How many of you have done that? I've decided to do this. You even say it out loud, and then you actually don't commit through that aligned action. Nothing happens until something happens. And again, how you do anything is how you do everything. So how many things are you deciding to do all day, every day that you never actually commit to doing, right? There's probably a long list that's totally zapping a lot of time and energy, which, by the way, the time you can never buy back. How about breaking through old limits that continue to pop up each time, but yet it gets easier and more simpler to overcome? How about never settling for this is it when it comes to business and life? It's good, but this is it. This is just where it's going to be. No, I don't settle for that. Never allowing a circumstance again or situation to dictate your decisions. Standing in your power even when you have shaky hands or wobbly knees. And when experiencing this, there's possibly fear, but you're friending the fear and you're doing the thing anyway, because it's not just for you. It's for us all. Just like this isn't just for me, it's for us all. I would be doing this even if I wasn't getting paid to do this. That's how on mission I am with this. This is how mission critical this is for me, because it's not about me. I've already did a lot of the things, and I'm going to continue to do the things. I'm going to continue to grow and expand, but it's about my legacy. It's about my children. It's about you. It's about my neighbors. It's about my community. It's about the world. I can go really deep on this, but I'm going to stay right here with you because this is what happens to me when I get so passionate and fired up. So what is this? This is about the Rise Up experience. This is about radical, intentional self-expansion, hence the word rise. Radical, intentional self-expansion. That's the rising part. And how do we go up, up, up is unleashing that unlimited potential, unleashing it, because it truly is limitless in what we can experience in a lifetime. The only limits that we put on ourselves are the ones that we put on ourselves. It's found between our ears, our mind. It can stop us from doing things we know we really want to do. It can talk us into and out of so many things. Our minds can also be our biggest dream mass murderers of all murderers. They can create regret. It can look like fear. It can look like worry. It can look like doubt. But how long do we allow it to delay or distract us? So some will continue to choose the limits every day, either subconsciously or consciously with intention. So those are the people that are what they're not changing, they're choosing. You can look at that every day. But instead of calling it out on everybody else, why don't you take a look at yourself, just like I do? What am I not changing? I'm choosing. And where am I okay with that? And where am I not okay with that? And I actually do this every month and every quarter through the Power of the Reset journal prompts, which are part of the Rise Up experience. Now, there are others, maybe this is you, that desire to rise up and choose it again and again and again, sharpening your confidence skills, sharpening your decision mastery skills, sharpening your clarity, your wisdom, and ultimately resulting in greater fulfillment. Greater fulfillment. What if you had more fulfillment in your personal life? What would that look like? What would that feel like? What if you had more fulfillment in your business life? What would that look like? What would that feel like with your colleagues, with your clients, with your prospects? What if you had more fulfillment with your community, the people you just get to hang out with and be authentically you with, which, by the way, we should be authentically ourselves in our businesses too, right? So the fact that we get to shut down and turn off, it's like, why be only that person then? Why? Like, who are you showing up as outside of that? And why? Let's peel back those layers. Let's look at this. Imagine what it would be like if you had more time freedom to do what you loved with who you loved. Imagine if you had more money freedom to invest in all the things that you desire without justifying, not making it feel good, bad, right, or wrong. It just is because you get to, because you can. Imagine being able to write a check for your favorite charity or for someone you know that just needs a little help this year. Imagine. When was the last time you allowed yourself to imagine? Here it is at the end of the day, as I truly believe that the most generous people have more to give. This is why I've taken off Fridays before hitting certain milestones. This is why I continue to offer, activate, and create laser coaching experiences multiple times a week. And I'll do this no matter how much revenue I'm bringing in per month, no matter how much revenue I'm bringing in per year. Because again, I truly believe the most generous people have more to give. And I'm showing up as that person now, the one that my future self will be so proud of now. I can't show up as that person yesterday. Yesterday's over. I can't even show up as that person tomorrow. I have to decide in the moment, now, the gift, the present is the only time we can actually show up and be. And when you can play in this space of decision mastery, of having radical breakthroughs and it being the norm, this is where massive shifts of the old paradigms of what success is and fulfillment is can be radically changed. But it has to start with me, it has to start with you, and it has to start with everyone else to be participatory in deciding and committing and rising up and saying enough is enough and stop settling for good when we know great is possible. And this all starts with just creating and living the yes and life by design. Deciding what fulfillment means to you and living that out every single day. Deciding what success means to you and living that out every single day. Again, success is like liking and loving yourself. Is liking and loving what you do. Is liking and loving how you do it. Maya Angelou. Like, that to me is the purest definition of success. Where did we get hung up with owning multiple cars and owning multiple handbags and owning multiple things? That, again, there's nothing wrong with those things. I live in my dream home right now. I am driving my dream car. We have our dream boat. We are talking about other dream investment properties. We've owned multiple homes. We're in our third home. I forgot about some of the ones we rented that were pretty dream rentals, right? And it's like, that's all going to come and go. But at the end of the day, if all of that was taken away, do you know how to feel fulfillment now? Do you know how to fulfill success without all of that because of what you did and how you showed up thus far? And if you're listening to this in November 2023, Black Friday is in full force, not because everybody is doing it, because I chose to get to do this in the way I want to do this. I get to show up. I get to impact and share. I get to serve at a whole nother level I've never challenged myself to serve before. So the question is, will you? Will you decide? Will you commit to your highest self, to the person, the potential that your future self will thank you for? Will you? Because you will or you won't. And by not even saying that you will, you already decided you won't. What you are not changing, you are choosing. So let's talk about these two options real quick. And then obviously all the details are on my LinkedIn, my Instagram, and in the email land. So if you want more details, hop over there, DM me. I can shoot them right over if you don't want to dig for them. The option one is a 6 to 12 month mentorship. You get to choose 6 or 12. There are only 7 of these. This is doing life with you in your back pocket as you are breaking through, leveling up, creating insane progress while ditching the perfection and no longer delaying or being distracted, because I'm in your back pocket for 6 to 12 months. Plus you get live one-on-one calls and a couple of live group calls throughout either 6 months or a year. You choose. It's whichever you would love. Which would you love? Which would you love? The second option is a self-study option. This is for those who are talking about something that's a little more self-paced. They're not really wanting the one-on-one right now because they don't even know what to do with one-on-one coaching, right? I've been in that place before. It's like, I love what you're talking about. I have no idea what questions to ask or what coaching would be like or feel like with you, but I would love more of what you have. I'd love to understand your frameworks and your methodologies. Or I already have a coach and I would love to use these frameworks and methodologies with my coach so I can be held accountable and make that investment of working with you one-on-one as an option. I would love that, but I don't know when I would love that. Then this would be for you. You can always upgrade to one-on-one experiences from that point. Now, again, message me for the details. I'll leave some links here in the show notes of the podcast and also here on my Instagram feed. So the question really is, are you ready? Because at the end of the day, we're never really ready for the big things, right? Think about all the big things you've already accomplished thus far in your life, and you were either pushed into it and you didn't have a choice to be ready or not, or even look at some of the people you are inspired by. And you look at some of the successful people, not just in business, but the successful, like you can look at another mom and be like, wow, she carries herself with grace and she still gets stuff done. Or wow, things can tend to be really messy and she still gets stuff done. And look at other business owners. Like I guarantee if you interviewed every business owner on this planet, they are going to say, I did the thing before I was ready. I did the thing before I was ready. And you look back and everybody's regret is, I wish I would have done this sooner. I wish I would have done this sooner, including myself. I wish I would have done a lot of this sooner. But yet it wasn't my timing, right? I look back and I don't regret the growth. Like, heck no, I don't regret the growth that it gave me by not doing it sooner. But it would have been a lot easier and simpler if I just would have started sooner and released the perfection and looked at the progress instead. So you are ready. You are, no matter what your mind is saying right now. And you're also very worth it. Worth it, and you deserve it. And borrow my belief on that if you don't believe it right now. Because here we are at the end of the day, it's 2023 and it's November. Are you going to relive the same year over and over for another decade or two? Are you really ready to make a change? Are you really ready to make 2024 your year? And how many times have you said that before? Just ask yourself that. Be honest. You don't have to share that with me if you don't want to. Because when you start practicing, placing your hand on your heart space and closing your eyes and asking yourself, what would I love right now? What would I love right now? What would I love the next 3 to 6 months to be? What would I love next year to be, look, feel like? What do I want to experience? What would I love? And you actually drop into this yummy heart space and listen, so much will start to talk. And it might not right away. If you've been disconnected from that space for a long time, it might take a little bit of time. Because here's the thing. Prayers are when we send our messages, right, to God, and we hand it over. But when do we actually listen? How many times have you been given the opportunity to transform or change? Or God has placed people in your life and you didn't take action or you didn't commit. Or maybe you're a little too afraid or you're freaked out, and that just it was just one of those things that you didn't allow because of the limits. Again, the limits that we create upon ourselves. Those are really the only limits in life, are the limits that we put on ourselves, just the same as the pressures that we put on ourselves. Nobody has permission to pressure you. Permission to release the pressure. Permission to expand and align, because you deserve it and because you're worth it. The tools are ready for you. You're just one decision, one conversation, one thought, one response away from your biggest breakthrough of your lifetime. So I go back to, will you? Will you? I'm not just saying with me. It could be somebody else that's coming to mind and coming from your heart space and saying, yes, this person, go back to that person, or keep looking and asking the better questions, the higher quality questions, and that person will pop up. I am certain of it. But are you even brave enough to ask those questions? Only you can decide. Only you can think it up. Only you can respond. Only you can commit. So don't throw a Hail Mary to somebody else's Black Friday because you think it's your Hail Mary for this year into next year. Go in with the confidence that I get to do this. I get to. Not I have to. And it's an excitement, and there's some butterflies, and there's the thrill of potential, and there's the thrill of possibility. Start saying yes to more of those. And I'm going to leave you with that today, my friend, because that was a lot I just dropped on you. Go back, listen, save and share, comment. The biggest gift you can give me is a review over on iTunes with Courageous and Free with Jacquelyn Mack, so more people like you can find many more of these tools to start to radically break through the limits of their life and start mastering their decision-making skills. And for now, I send you off with so much love. Mwah. Bye for now.